Bliss, what it do, y'all? Welcome to the Sunroom. I am your host, Suno, and may this message and medicine be received to you in the form that you need to receive the medicine. As always, this is how we're going to start it, you know what I'm saying? Today, what I wanted to speak on is manhood. So, for any women that's viewing this video, feel free to still, you know what I'm saying, stick around and listen in, or even if you won't feel yourself wanting to comment on things, feel free to comment in the comment section and stuff like that. This is really, like I said, it's going to be more centered for the men, but the information that I give is just insight for you to be able to relate to your partner, you know what I'm saying? Your husband, your boyfriend, your uncle, your whoever, um, male that you have in your life that, you know what I'm saying, help you to understand and help you in your day-to-day like relationships and stuff like that. Because it's like we always heard before with children specifically, it takes a village to raise a child, but it never stops taking a village for a healthy environment and ecosystem for a healthy human being, you know what I'm saying? Just as I'm in the woods right now, having one plant isolated alone wouldn't do as good as it could if it had like another ecosystem with companionships, you know what I'm saying, to help them be more well-rounded in their own being. And it's just nice to, you know what I'm saying, have a community and not just be here feeling like you're alone, because that can be a dark and scary place to be in. So what I want to speak on with manhood, though, I'm gonna do a little bit of like a backdrop on my experience, what led me up into this point, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm very passionate about this, and without exposing too much of my plans and like just ideas, because this is something that I want to work out in real time in the physical, you know what I'm saying, is being able to have these talks with men and just help each other, you know what I'm saying, in moments of weakness, to help each other stay strong. And when we have these talks and understanding with one another, we can go to our home and still remain that pillar for our home, for our community, and for our family and things like that. Because that's really what it's about, you know what I'm saying? Being able to thrive together in unity, you know. And so a little bit about my upbringing. As we know, there's so many archetypes and energies and characteristics of being a man: courage, strength, you know what I'm saying, intellect, protection, priesthood when it gets into like spirituality and things like that, providing when it gets into like hunting. And there's, you don't have to do it in a primitive way where I won't say advanced, because some of the things that we're doing, it's not helping us, you know what I'm saying, in no way, shape, and form. It's not helping us to evolve as a human race. It's kind of stifling us in our evolving, but sometimes advancements are sometimes masked, or setbacks are more masked and promoted as advancements when it really isn't. It can be like to our detriment of like, trying to think of some examples, but I'll get there. But I digress. So being of my upbringing, it was really warrior based, because when I got initiated into in my teenage years, I got initiated into street culture, because that was like my closest my closest way into evolving from that little boy that was like just playing with toys. I knew I felt something. It was a mosquito. So from me being that little boy playing with toys, that was what I felt like. That was my way to become a man, or just to get myself initiated out of that boyhood. You know what I'm saying? And whether it was the right way to go about it is neither here nor there. I appreciate my experiences and the things that it taught me, because I've always felt that warrior instinct in me. And what I mean by being put on from like the street life is because of like gang banging culture was like just right at my doorstep. And a lot of people that's outside of, I admire people that had the courage to say no. And the people that said no sometimes judge those who said yes to gang culture and that lifestyle. What I can say, that I'm sure that I'm not the only one that feel like this, because I didn't have my family, my immediate family by my side. You know what I'm saying? We're in the city now, and whenever you, because I'm gonna touch on what we call city strength versus country strength as well. And most of my family are from the countryside, and when you, it's not a lot of resources in the countryside either. So as my mother wanted to have her boys in somewhere that had more resources and things like that, we do tend to get involved with lifestyles that might not be the best for us, but it's just what's there, and then we just shift and we just mold into our environment. You know what I'm saying? Some of us, we don't, we stay strong and we're able to maneuver in and out of there respectfully. You know what I'm saying? But for me, what turned me on to the gang bang lifestyle was just seeing the brotherhood and the camaraderie. Now, I'm on the outside looking in, but now that I'm on the inside looking and seeing everything, it's really not what it seemed. You know what I'm saying? When it's flowing and it's good, it's good. But when it goes, it's like dogs in the background. Um, Trying to listen to what's going on. But when it goes from good to bad, it's when people are backstabbing you, people are switching sides. So you got people what they call set tripping, or not even, people mislabel set tripping when somebody go from one set to another set. Set tripping really is when, okay, the best way that I can explain this is like tribalism. That's what got me to wake up to like, oh, I'm in tune with my primordial and like just instinctive energy, which is that warrior essence. You know what I'm saying? I was always in tune with that, even though my anger was misled, or I was a rebel without a cause. That's something that stuck with me, and I was able to realize later on in life. You know what I'm saying? Because when it came to that, so tribalism, you got different tribes here, well, anywhere really. When you got different tribes, you got somebody from different tribes and things like that. You got ones that's like, all right, that's the sister tribe or the brotherhood tribe. You know what I'm saying? We do business with each other, and we have like a symbiotic symbiotic relationship. So whatever I might have, I bring over to that tribe, and what that tribe might have, they bring over to us, and so forth and so forth. So whenever we have that clash and war with another tribe, that's what you call set tripping. So tribe is synonymous with the set, and set is anonymous or synonymous with your tribe. You know what I'm saying? So when I peep that, Yo, that shit was like a whole mental reality shift for me because I had to get out of there at first. Well, first of all, once you take yourself out of the environment, I had to realize how I was already getting programmed into things where just wasn't necessary for me to have, like just lines of thinking. And when it comes to not being able to express your emotions and things like that to the point where you just feel like it's necessary to result into violence. Not everything is needed for that result. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we do need to discuss things and talk about it and talk it out as men. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we need to put them fists up, duke it out. You know what I'm saying? And respectfully go our separate ways. I love that shit. The things that I'm gonna sound very old school because I'm grateful at my age. I'm in the middle of this shit. Like, I still got connection to the old, well, I won't say the old ways, but just like some traditional ways of like going about quote unquote street culture or just principles. Having principles and moving on a code of ethic, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing when it comes to manhood. Standing for something, you know what I'm saying? Even though my choice was game banging at the time, I stood for something and I didn't have any thought of switching up or anything like that until I got wiser, you know what I'm saying? Because not everything like that is going to work out in your favor, especially when you have no control over it. And they always say that you're not bigger than the program. So if you're not bigger than the program, then I might need to take myself out of this program if the programming isn't producing the best results in my livelihood, you know what I'm saying? So I had to start acknowledging my own roots. I have indigenous and tribal roots on this land, you know what I'm saying? So once I started learning thyself, that's when my reality, like I said, started shifting, but I also was out of that space. I'm not around my fake friends anymore. I'm not around these envious people because I always had this thought process of thinking differently and observing, and I'm a lot slower to act on things. Thankfully, because my mom, she worked for the school system, so I had to maneuver a certain way just so I don't embarrass her because this is her job. This is how we're getting fed and this is how she's providing shelter for us, you know what I'm saying? And another thing is it probably would have went a different way if I did have my father in my life, like actively in my life. But that's another discussion, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to the guys and men that do have a father around that kept them on the straight and narrow, that had that, you know what I'm saying, that authoritative figure in their life, which is another characteristic of being a man, you know what I'm saying? So once I was out of there, then I started to explore my own psyche and unlearn a lot of the things that I learned through that really developmental era in my life because I'm like 12, 13 when I got initiated into this lifestyle. So I'm very impressionable, you know what I'm saying? Like us as kids at that early age, we're very impressionable. So a lot of these things we're going to think is cool, but it's really not, you know what I'm saying? As far as like flipping off of the handle or just being a badass, you're just really like that energy was misplaced, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still that rebel, but now I have a cause because dealing with energies and like just the evils of the world and things like that, I have to expose these things. I have to speak on these things. I have to transmute these things, you know what I'm saying? And when I got in that space to unlearn, I started learning two things that happened in that time space. I started observing other men and I was putting in my head like, all right, I know I don't want to act like that. This dude is grown as fuck, but he acting like a child. He acting like how I would act, and I'm like fucking 15. Like, what the fuck is up with that? You know what I'm saying? I'm having these questions like I don't never want to be like that when I'm like that age. You know what I'm saying? So, but it can happen to any one of us if we're not conscious of the energy and how we choose to express ourselves and the inner work that we worked in within ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So whenever I'm able to do, I'm giving all of this my energy. I'm giving all of this what I don't want to do, what I don't want to inherit, characteristics that I don't want to do. But then when I got to myself and by myself and I'm living by myself now, I'm like, oh shit, I don't really know shit about manhood. Like, I don't know how to fix things. I don't know how to, like, you know what I'm saying, like work on my car. You know what I'm saying? Like when something happens, like hey, you know what I'm saying? Like I felt that was like another like something that I just didn't have the foresight to see of like, whoa, I feel hopeless right now. Like that's that's gonna hurt a man's pride when they feel like because we're all about action. How can I solve this? We're built to solve things, you know what I'm saying? Problem solvers. And if I can't solve this shit, it's like, damn, bro, I feel powerless. I feel weak right now. Like, I don't have anything to fight right now. What the fuck, bro? This is internal. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do I do with this energy? So you just got to go in. First of all, you just got to acknowledge that shit, take it on the chin, acknowledge that shit, and do better. You know what I'm saying? So once you do better and not get bitter, that's going to be another shift within your life into your reality. You know what I'm saying? And once I started linking up with men that I admired, that I respected, and things like that, and even my own brothers that's in my age range, I'm so appreciative because they don't think exactly how I think, and I don't need them to, and we shouldn't strive to find people like that because that's how we fall into the illusion of like that yes man mentality to think that we can't do any wrong, and that's when we fall into that illusion that what do you call it, damn, so it's like that illusion of like you can't take constructive criticism. So if you against me, or if you're not with me then you against me mentality, like hell no, bro. Like that shit's some weak man shit. Like that's some hurt little boy shit, you know what I'm saying? Being able to have brothers that respectfully disagree, and then y'all can build from there, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, salute that. Now I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all I'll let y'all know personally, and some people I've developed relationships with over time. And like I said, I'm gonna let you know right now, if you viewing this, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate it. I appreciate you for shining your light and being your authentic self, you know what I'm saying? Because that inspires me to keep being my authentic self. uh, uh, anyway, authenticity, god damn. But yeah, so with that being said, like, man, because it can be a lonely world when you feel like you're the only one that think like this, but you're not the only one that think like this. It's when you start hiding yourself and shrinking yourself and fitting yourself into this mode of how you feel like you should be operating as a being, as a man, as a human at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's when we just dim your light, bro. So like I started doing more like working out and stuff like that because I've been trying to work out ever since like I got to like maybe like 25, you know what I'm saying? I'm 31 right now. Thankfully, I didn't see myself making it this far. I was I was living pretty fast, and I could have been living faster if shit was left up to my own demise. But I'm appreciative of where I am right now. So we got like a siren right now. It's like a weather advisory. We've been having rain like all week. So I'm gonna let that pass. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so yeah. And once I got to like that age, and then once I started incorporating those things that I do admire about being a man and things like that, and instilling that into my character and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? I started picking up like, yo, I need to get some like muscle mass on me, or you know what I'm saying? Like do something. But I don't like the traditional ways of working out, like in the gym and stuff like that. That just doesn't call or resonate with me. What I like to do, what I found that I like to do, I would rather say, is calisthenics when you're doing like body workouts. But that's me specifically. So I train based off of my specific needs, wants, and things that inspire me. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm outside, bro, I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love being able to sweat and be within the elements. I'm listening to the birds. I'm feeling the breeze. I'm feeling the heat. Sometimes I'm like, God damn, this is too much, but I love it at the same time because the next day I'm more equipped to handle this shit now. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I wanted to talk about is like being holistic with the training, because another something that I started realizing with working out, even like I find myself going into worlds because I find like an interest, but I'm not so embedded in that interest like some other people, like people that go crazy in the calisthenic community. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of them. I fuck with it, but all of that other shit, respect, bro. Like, yo, you doing that shit. But sometimes when it comes to the social media shit, I wanted to speak on this social media shit. This social media shit got people heads fucked up. Because the reason why I know this is because I've been I've experienced this, and I've known others men to experience this shit as well. As far as women, I'm pretty sure y'all experience this shit on another level too. But just expecting to fucking perform for people. Like, first of all, like, do you feel good like waking up and like doing your workouts and stuff like this without even turning the camera on? You know what I'm saying? Like, truly, like really. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you? And if the answer is yes, then that's where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? Some people just want to work out, and that's no shade, but they just do it for the confirmation of other men, to the point where I'm listening to dudes just talk highly of men, but then when it come to women, they talk down on women like they bitches and hoes and you can't trust them and shit like that. And I'm like, first of all, you sound like a weak bitch right now. You sound like a little boy. And like that shit irritates me, bro, because that's me sensing something happened in their life to set. I don't know if they got mother issues. I don't know if they have female issues. I don't know if they can't get any females. So now they have to work on their body to feel like they're building their confidence, and it's false confidence hiding behind muscle. But when you get around women, you're like just this, you know what I'm saying? Like this geek, you know what I'm saying? Like all this, you got all this talk, but at the end of the day, you secretly want the attention of women. I don't fuck with that shit. And I see that shit a lot in the community. And it's starting to mix in with this so-called red pill community. I don't fuck with that red pill community because all them dudes that's in that red pill community, I'm pretty sure they got mama issues, or they feel like they so fucking intellectually inclined that they feel like they have people beneath them and shit like that. You're not gonna get anywhere with that fucking mentality. You might feel like you're gonna get somewhere, but you still gonna be empty inside. You know what I'm saying? Until you address that demon within you, and you know what I'm saying, acknowledge it and work on it and do that inner work, it's always gonna be there, bro. It's always gonna be there, no matter what you do externally. It's always gonna be there. And like that's just how energy works. It can never be created nor destroyed. It can only be transmuted. You know what I'm saying? So how you want to do it, it's all left up to you. You know what I'm saying? So, man, I'm like I said, I'm very passionate about this shit because what I really want is taking it to the days of being able to usher in these kids into teenage, into manhood from a holistic perspective. You know what I'm saying? From not even just talking about the spiritual aspect, but we're talking about the spiritual, we're talking about the physical, we're talking about the mental. You know what I'm saying? Having all three of these things incorporate, and also the emotional. We can't forget about the emotional body, because a lot of times these people think that they hard and shit like that. They're hard because their emotions are stagnant. They're not hard because they have courage and strength. That shit is a false persona. What's fucking happening within themselves is they're burning, and they don't have they didn't do the inner work to basically alleviate that pain within themselves. So yeah, back when I was a kid, if you look at me a certain way, I'm gonna take that shit aggressive. But it's like, what the fuck? Like, what issue do I have with anybody looking at me? I'm a handsome young man. You know what I'm saying? I've always been handsome. I might have some ugly ways sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty handsome. But that doesn't, you know what I'm saying? Like, just having that perspective is just like a shift in perspective. Maybe something that I'm wearing or something that I'm doing, or I might just be unique, or I might just stand out just because of who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so many different things, and people just might have like just different things going in their mind. Somebody might just be like looking past you. There's been a lot of times I'm looking past somebody and I catch myself like, oh shit, they probably think I'm staring. I like to people watch too, because like I like psychology and like just understanding people's mind thoughts and like why they go into certain actions and all those things. Like, it just, I have like a genuine interest in those things. I've always have. But when you just like acknowledge these things, bruh, things just happens more smoother. And when young men have these I wouldn't say role models, maybe role models, because that word left a stain in my mouth. So maybe, I would say having those people to look toward when we need, like, because me, I can say that I have a lot of shit to learn, but I have my elders. I have my grandfather, I have my father, I have my father-in-law, I have my brother, and like other people that's like that I respect in my life, my uncles that have far more experience than I do. You know what I'm saying? My other uncles, like that's on my grandfather's side and things like that, they can help me to have like a holistic view of the world, because I don't know everything and I didn't experience everything. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's wise to get information as much as you can to build with each other and have that community and build these references so that you can sit within yourself and ultimately make a decision, because it's really up to us to make a decision, because all of these things that I'm saying isn't so that people can act and think like me. It's more so you can get into the trueness of your own essence. And that's basically all I've been talking about, is just getting to wholeness so that you can be more sustainable in your training, in your business, in your focus, your mentality, in your relationships, in your spouse relationships, with your kids, if you have any kids, and you know what I'm saying, with the family, with your community. Because when we're working in harmony, that's when we can be more when we're working in harmony, that's when we can be more, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, just beneficial, you know what I'm saying, for ourselves, but also to our own like respective counterparts, the women, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you don't think that you have to be like this fucking swole bro, broly dude and shit like that just to fucking prove your manhood and shit like that. Like, learn yourself, know thyself, and just keep going that like that. Like, it's better to be well rounded than to just be die hard in one area. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I had to say. I think, 'cause I got my notes right here. Uh, yeah, yeah, man. Stop competing with strangers. Stop competing with strangers. At the end of the day, we don't know these people on the internet. Stop entertaining these strangers and trying to compete with them and doing all of these like batshit crazy things for attention. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, may y'all be able to receive the message and the medicine as you need it in your life, for those who's watching, listening, and whoever's around you as well. Much love. Until next time, bliss.